Hi, I'm Pamela Castro, Commercial Data Manager in Walmart Phronesis, Chile.
My name is Lucas Barros, and I lead Walmart Connect and Walmart Phronesis in Chile. The first one is the retail media, and the second one is the retail analytic businesses within Walmart Chile. And you are listening to the CPG Guys podcast.
Welcome to the CPG Guys podcast. Your hosts, Shri Rajagopalan and Peter V. Espan, explore how brands and retailers engage consumers in an increasingly digitally driven world. And now, here are the CPG Guys. Hello and welcome to the CPG Guys podcast. I am your humble co-host, PVSB. I'm also head of industry and client relations at Flywheel. We are the e-commerce accelerator division of Omnicom. Of course, I'm joined, as always, by my fellow co-founder and co-host. He is the Chief Revenue Officer at Think Blue Consulting. He's patriarch of the Raj family media empire. My God, there's so much going on with the Raj family. We'll talk to him about that in a second. And he is also the former Chief Customer Officer at General Mills. I'm of course, talking about my BFF, my ride or die. He's the man known as Shri. Shri, as we record this, it is May 2nd. Now, you know I am a big Maroon 5 fan. I have loved their music. One of the last bands that I added to my repertoire before I just stopped adding any new musicians that I like. Yeah, Taylor Swift is kind of wafted in there. But generally speaking, some of these new ones I don't pay. But Maroon 5, I keep track. What is so big about Maroon 5 today in the Raj family? What's going on?
Well, their latest song released last night at midnight Eastern, Priceless. Adam Levine, Maroon 5 featuring Lisa from Blackpink. My older daughter, Ria Raj, is one of the co-writers. Of course, if you go to LinkedIn, Proud Dad shows it off. But if you go to Spotify, Apple, you can find her in the credits in about a second. She's waited for this moment for a long time. Congratulations to her. It's a big deal. But Peter, this is a unique 24 hours for the fam because, Laura just had the release of Gnarly by Cat's Eye. 24 hours ago, it's already hit number one trending on YouTube with over 5 million views in less than 24 hours. And then there's another blockbuster today. Ria is doing work with a Bollywood artist that the whole world knows, but due to NDAs, we can release who it is after. So tomorrow's LinkedIn, you'll be sure to find out.
What are the cats up to?
The cats are in a very happy mood these days because mom is back, and so am I.
That's good. Well, I'm glad to hear it, Shri. Can't wait to be with you in New York next week. You and I are finally, after a year of preparation, we are so excited to be co-producing with the Graduate School of Business at Cornell University the Retail Media Strategy in-person executive education program. This is big, Shri. I mean, really big.
Looking forward to it. We have amazing speakers, great topics, everything about retail media you wanted to know, all the way from the history to why it has become such a force. You get to network with brands, retailers, and service providers that have shaped the outcomes in this industry. And hopefully you'll get a bunch of takeaways to kind of rethink how you want to do. The most important one, Peter, I'll say is think of retail media as an opportunity to move away from the old word JBP to JVC, joint value creation between retailers and consumers. How do you do that? By putting consumers up top. But Peter, this conversation is incomplete. On Fridays when we record, I always ask you a question. What's on the deck for the weekend with Nadia?
So tomorrow morning is our Saturday morning ritual. We'll head up to Stu Leonard's. We'll do some grocery shopping at the world's biggest dairy store. We'll go up to Lowe's, which is a Home Depot-like retailer, or as we like to refer to it in our household, Hammer Barn. Anyone who's familiar with the Australian cartoon Bluey will know what Hammer Barn is all about. We'll get some paint swatches because you can get as many paint swatches as you want, and they're all free. So no spending money on that. And then we'll go to Chick-fil-A and we'll get Nadia some hash browns and a frozen lemonade. So that's like the big event. She's got a full day of play dates on Sunday, but I get her Saturday morning and we do our daddy-daughter ritual. So that's what we got planned.
Power-packed weekend is what it sounds like to me. And so I have a surprise for you, Peter. I got a new number on the back.
What do you have? Mantle. Wait a minute. You've abandoned Jeter, the cheater? I mean, Derek Jeter, number 2?
You don't really want me to respond to that. And
How about, don't you have any 42 numbers on your jersey? Or are we putting those away for a while?
now I'm going with Mickey Mantle. He's my new stub puppy. And of course, the judge, who has 10 home runs. We're not worried about the home run battle anymore. We're worried about 7. And by the way, 10's up top, and after 31 games, is batting .427.
He's awesome. He's awesome.
Unheard of in baseball.
Unheard of. All right, Sri, thanks again for joining me. Looking forward to your participation in this call. Before we get to our 2 really awesome guests, and I do mean really awesome because I love these 2. They're so cool. I had time to spend with them last year. We'll talk about that in a second. I'll remind everyone listening, please follow us on your favorite podcast platform. Apple, Spotify, whatever. But if you're on Apple or Spotify, right, please make sure to follow us and then give us a rating, a numerical rating. I like 5. You can have any number you want, but if you really like me, the number 5 would make me happy. And in doing so, you're going to help feed the algorithm that makes our podcast more discoverable by other industry contemporaries of yours so that they can be educated and entertained as you are enjoying it. So that would be really appreciative. So let's get to our guests for today's episode. Regular listeners of this podcast will remember that last December, I made a trip to South America in order to appear at the Accelerate Suppliers Summit that was being produced by Walmart Chile, where I had the incredible honor to meet our 2 guests. For those of you not familiar with Walmart's Chilean operation, they operate the nation's largest grocery retailer banner, Leader. And like their U.S. counterparts, they offer suppliers customer insights and retail media services to engage Leader consumers and drive brand growth and loyalty. So here to share with us all of the great omnichannel developments surrounding customer data and retail media transpiring in South America are Lucas Barros. He's head of Walmart Connect Chile and Phronesis, and Pamela Castro, the commercial manager for Walmart Phronesis. Lucas, Pam, welcome to the CPG Guys. It's so good to have you here.
So good to be here, Peter and Sri. Thank you very much for inviting us. It's an honor for us to be here. And yes, I was remembering last time in December when you were delighting us with all the insights and intelligence that you bring to our event. And yes, I'm happy and excited to be here. Thank you very much.
Hi, Peter. Many thanks for the invitation, Sri. It's very delightful to be here with you guys. It's an honor, such as Lucas is saying. Also because we recently launched our product, or our service, Walmart Phronesis. And we are happy to announce you guys that now we are officially in the retail analytic world in Chile.
That is terrific. That is terrific. And I think I almost knocked Pamela over when I opened up my jersey and I revealed that I had a Walmart Phronesis t-shirt on when I showed up. She was it almost brought Pam to tears. It was really it was so nice to be able to do that. I really enjoyed spending it was hard to believe, it was 36 hours. Literally, that's what it was. I was there. I landed. I went to the hotel. I went to dinner. I got up the next morning. I spent the morning on your campus for the event and a number of other activities. And then some of your colleagues, Cote and Vale, took me out on a store tour. And I was at the airport. And it was like wham, bam. That was real quick. But boy, I really enjoyed the entire experience on stage. I really love the incredible audience you gave me late in the afternoon with the senior leadership team to talk about the state of the industry. And I particularly love being able to join Lucas, you for your podcast. So really, really great time. It was a phenomenal experience for me, and I relish it. So let me start, Lucas. Before we get to the questions that we have, can you explain to us what exactly it is that you oversee at Walmart Chile? What is your primary role there?
Yeah, well, My primary role, Peter, in Chile is to lead both businesses. I build them both from scratch, from even before the PowerPoint presentation. So from before anything, Walmart brought me to Walmart to design these businesses and start them up from scratch. And after 3 years, 3 years and 1 month, now we can say that we have built up the retail media and the retail analytic businesses, and now they are primarily part of the strategic vision of Walmart, and also part not of the strategic vision, but part of our annual things that we put a lot of effort and focuses, and actually are changing a lot of things within Walmart, the way of working inside Walmart and the way of working with our suppliers. So that's my primary role.
Pamela, how about you?
Okay, me, I'm very thankful with Lucas because when he started this business, I think he had in mind something more related to sell a platform in Walmart Phronesis, and when he decided that it was me the person to join to this business, he believed in the vision that I brought with me, and this is not only a platform now. This is a new way of working, as he was saying, and now suppliers and merchants are working in the same common language. I mean, we see the data, we work through the data, and we improve the client's experience in the store and in the online medium. So I believe now we are growing very fast in our business because we decide work beyond our data platform.
That is terrific. Thank you both for that. And by the way, Lucas, you'd better watch out because Pam's got a pretty serious podcasting microphone there, and if you're not careful, she may bump you out of your own podcast role. That's some good equipment.
I'm hoping for the team to do that.
There you go. Inspiration. So to our audience, we're going to include in the digital liner notes of this episode links to both Lucas's and Pamela's LinkedIn profiles and the LinkedIn page for Walmart Connect Chile and obviously the website, so that anyone listening to this can follow along and multitask, learn more about our guests and their business as we go into these detailed questions for our conversation. So let's start with an overview of Walmart in Chile. Lucas, could you share with us what the retail operations are in Chile? What's the scope? What is Walmart's presence there? I kind of alluded to the fact that if you ask consumers in Chile, do you shop at Walmart? They'd look a little perplexed. But why don't you explain what the retail operations are in your country?
So Walmart Chile means three banners. We have Líder, that is the biggest one, then Super Bodega a Cuenta is the second one, and then Central Mayorista. We have almost 400 stores along all the Chilean region, and we are less than 30 minutes away from any person that lives within our territory. So that's a big number. We also are inside the more than the 90% of the households in Chile. So it's a huge penetration. And why is that? Because we help people save money and live better. It's very, very connected to our main purpose here. And I could say that the main differentiation about us is that we also have more than almost the 85% of the transactions of the in-store transactions identified. So that allows us to do a lot of things, like, for example, Walmart Phronesis and Walmart Connect in a different and meaningful way.
How about that, Sri? 85% household attribution on their in-store transaction. That's enough to make people in Northwest Arkansas downright envious.
Jealous is the word that comes to mind. So I'm going to jump from an introduction of the Chilean market as well as background on Walmart to actually getting into omnichannel. So give us a here in the US, omnichannel is pretty well penetrated where we say close to 100% of all influence on a shopper is done digitally. But what is the state of omnichannel in Chile? And also benchmark it with the rest of Latin America, and then when you look at North America, any statistics you have on e-commerce penetration, mobile engagement, all this would be great for audience to hear.
When we talk about bancarization, when we talk about a time that we spend in mobile social platforms and mobile in general, when we talk about the access of telephones and internet in Chile, we overperform any other country, almost any other country in the region, by far. Um, when you cross that with the penetration of groceries, depending in the penetration of e-commerce, depending if it's groceries or it's extended catalog, also Chile has a great penetration. It's between 15 and 20% of penetration within the market. Still a lot of to do when you see other markets as the US or Europe or even Asia. So that give us like the correct ambition, set the correct ambition, because when you have the other metrics like bankarization, mobile, internet access, and etc., help us understand where things can and where things will go in the near future.
Can I just supplement a question to that for a second? I know Peter's going to get into a little bit about retail media, but I'm just curious, how well is retail media known in Chile amongst vendors, your brands?
Well, retail media in Latin America is pretty new. I could say that in the last 5 year, 4 to 5 years, all the networks were launched in the region. In our case, we've been in the business in 3 years. Um, so I would say that it's pretty new, Sri, but it's getting big. It's getting very big and very important. And why is that? I would say that it's because the performance, yes, but also because the markets, the people who is investing are understanding that the retail media is also media, and is the best place to connect with huge audiences, and also being in the performing world. So it is an omni-channel and full funnel possibility, and as it occurred before, where traditional migrate like almost everything to digital, I think that now will migrate to omni-channel. So yeah, are happening, and it's because the results that we are giving.
Lucas, you made reference to the fact that you launched retail media in Chile about 3 years ago, and the fact that prior to that, you went up to, I'm assuming, Northwest Arkansas to kind of see what Big Brother was going. How did that inform you? And in answering this question, I want to understand how that informed you, and what are the offers or the solutions rather that you offer to suppliers where they can invest? Because I think it would be helpful to understand, I think most of the audience here are familiar with what Walmart Connect in the United States offers and what they focus on, but your solution offering isn't necessarily the same thing. So can you walk us through what are essentially the ad products that you offer to your consumers, and how that was influenced by your research of what was going on in the US?
It's a great question. I would say that we have the the same vision about it. I think that the long term vision for us is digital. And in our case, because we are Latin American, because we are Chile, we are countries and regions that still invest a lot in traditional and in trade. We love trade. And when you see like the digital advertising penetration in the US, I think that now is more than 77% of the total advertising investment. Here in Chile is around 50%. And that's a first thing. Then when we approach to our way to how we are developing retail media here, we are seeing a lot of space having the stores as an point of media also. And why is that? Because most of our audiences are still in the stores. That's the truth. And and that's one thing that we are doing, or at least differently than other markets, that we are enhancing a lot the in-store advertising. We have been in that business the last year and a half, and the brands love it, just love it. They love what we are doing. We are investing a lot on knowing more the metrics that make sense in the in-store advertising, and how actually we can give them completely visibility of what they are doing. And that's something very differently of what they are used to do in the trade, because that beforehand you were investing, but you don't knew much about what the impact is. And now we are building the funnel on in-store advertising, and on the audiences and the type of segmentation that you can actually hit in in-store advertising.
Hey, Lucas, when I was in the stores with Cote and Valle, they showed me what you were doing with the actual in-store merchandising. Can you explain to our audience, how do you keep track of whether the intended point of purchase material was actually deployed at retail? What is it that enables you to know that a particular point of purchase component is physically deployed in a retailer? How are you actually doing that? Because I remember it had something to do with QR codes.
So we are, if I understand well the question, one of the main pains of the retailer is that how we can deploy an advertising business in the stores without hitting the experience and our brand position. We don't want to make people feel that our product is expensive because we have digital screens, or you know what I mean. Like, you can't go against the main value of the brand. And in our case, our mission is save people money so they can live better. So if we do anything that hit that in a bad way, we are not doing a great job. So in order to achieve that, we partner with the operations and with marketing, and we build our complete catalog of offers with them. That's the first thing. The second thing is, okay, how we secure that whatever we implement in the store is brand safe and is aligned with the experience that we want to secure and bring to our clients. And in that context, we have been pushing a lot of efforts of securing that what we are implementing in the stores are aligned. And one of those things were a QR code that help the in-store managers understand what should be and what shouldn't be in the stores. And but that one of the things that of many 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 things that we like impulse, like we try to push into our advertising in store. We don't want to give our clients a worse experience. It's the complete opposite. How we enhance the experience with a marketing that actually connect deeply with the customer needs.
No doubt about that. Staying connected to the mission of Walmart is absolutely critical, because at the end of the day, that's how consumer sees the outcomes, right? So tell us about how your team is actually helping brands to activate through Walmart Connect. Is it managed services? Is it self-service platform? Is it a combination of both? How are brands actually engaging and getting success with Walmart Connect in Chile?
Today's free, that's one of our pain points that we are building it. But today is 100% managed service. I always, when I talk to the teams, tell them that this is like selling advertising 30 years ago, but we are moving forward. So at the end of the third quarter, we will launch all the self-service capabilities for sponsored products. That's a good, I'm not gonna say a huge milestone because we should have that long time ago, but it's a milestone. It will help us serve better the brands and give them more autonomy, and so they can actually decide in a better way how to invest their money and grow. And so it's 100% managed service today. It will change in a few months now.
That's pretty great. And can I assume then, as you go to introduce the self-service capability, your goal is to not only enable the brands to do some of that work themselves, but if they work through third-party agencies, that the agencies will be able to do that work on the brand behalf. Would that be an accurate description of your intention?
It is very accurate, and also not only with our on-site products solutions, but also with the DSP that we are about to launch in 1.5 months.
That is terrific. A DSP. That is good to know. I want to remind our audience that today Shri and I have the incredible pleasure of speaking with Pamela Castro and Lucas Barros from Walmart in Chile. So now to Pamela. Pam, retail media success, I think, is highly dependent upon the ability to personalize customer experiences, right? In comparison to the US counterpart, as we've referenced a couple times today, Walmart Chile has a very high transaction attribution rate. Can you share with us a little bit of the story behind why that is the case? What is unique about Chile that's driving that, and what has that enabled you to do?
Yes. Well, Chile has stricter data privacy regulations than the US, and now our clients are providing their ID through Mi Club. Is our loyalty program here in Chile, and Walmart is the number one retail also in Chile. So our customers, our clients, trust very hard in our way of working in our loyalty program, and we provide for them Mi Club points. So that's why they provide to us their ID. And so I'll say that now we are in our way to personalize experience, but for now we are working very hard to improve the experiences for most of our clients through Walmart Phronesis, for example, because we can understand the journey that they are doing to get their suppliers, or even we are improving their experience because we say, okay, this is the assortment that you should have there. And I will say that the story behind all the information that we are getting is most because of Mi Club, our loyalty program.
Wonderful. One thing I want to clarify, Pamela, the loyalty program data that you talked about and the possibility of personalization, it's an opt-in, correct? When they become members of the loyalty program, it's not automatic that you track the data, correct?
No, it's not automatic. Also, they provide the data for us, and we track their ID. I mean, because they come very frequently to any of our stores. As Lucas said before, we are near to 30 minutes to every household in Chile, so you can escape from Walmart in Chile at least. So that's why the clients are very frequently visiting some of our stores, and they are very loyal to us. And to increase our value here, we have to work very hard on penetration and loyalty, and also in how they are spending more in us than in the other retails.
Can you give a little bit of just a top level highlights on what that loyalty means? You know, here in the US, typically loyalty is always rewarded by points that can be redeemed for everything from gasoline and fuel all the way to discounts and offers and things of that nature. How is your program different?
I will say that's not different. I mean, it's most of the same. You have discounts in fuel also, and you get some points that you can redeem later in more products. But I will say the difference is because we are the number one supplier I mean, the number one retail in Chile. People are more engaged with us because we offer everyday low prices, and in Chile, this is a huge demanding difference.
So I imagine your vendors must be very curious about the data so that they can build better products, offer better value to your shoppers, the customers at the end of the day. So do you and how do you make this data, customer data available to your suppliers to analyze behavior? And do you collaborate also in the process with the merchants who are actually bringing product to the shelf?
Yes, I mean, um, Walmart Phronesis is born as a platform before, but now we are a different way of working with between merchants and suppliers. And we understood that because you have the data available in a platform, nothing happened with that only. So we create different teams, one for the suppliers, and they are consultants for the suppliers. So we analyze the data, we provide to them insights that we can also detect the size of the price before they implement it. And also, we have another team that works directly with merchants. So that way, we are like a way of detect the category growth opportunity, not only for the supplier, not only for the merchant. And as we analyze the insights and we detect the size of the opportunity before they implement, they decide if the opportunity is it going to work or not. And after they take action in this insight, we measure the impact. So we are measuring every moment, I mean, before they implement and after the implementation. And I think that's the difference also in our way of work, because now they put money even before they take action. So they say, okay, this is going to work or not going to work, because we understand the client with this data that we have, and we take more efficient decisions.
I think that's the critical component, Pamela, when I think about, in my experience in this space, that having the data and not having formal ways to use that data to drive business decisions is where too many people who've gotten into this space have fallen down. I was at a retailer once that desperately wanted to have the kind of data capabilities that other industry leaders did. But when I asked the head of merchandising, why do you want it? What I wanted to hear was so we can make customer-centric business decisions. But what I heard from them was, I want to monetize the data. And I think that's why it never worked at that retailer, because they never saw the data for its primary purpose, which was to make better decisions to serve customer needs and grow volume. If it's purely from a monetization standpoint and decisions aren't being made, your suppliers will pick up on that pretty quickly, right? And then they're just not going to invest in it. But if it's part of how you do category reviews, how you do assortment planning, how you do promotion analysis, then it's an essential toolkit that every supplier wants to have access to, because they know if they don't, then they don't have a credible seat at the table and they are not considered to be credible counselors. I mean, it really is that simple. So I'd love to know how brands are now that you have made this data tool available to them, Phronesis. And by the way, again, congratulations on the official launch of that. It's so exciting to know that it's kind of, suppliers were aware of it when I was there in December, and you had a soft introduction, but now it's a formal part of the toolkit for how suppliers collaborate with Walmart Chile. But can you give us some examples of how some suppliers have been starting to use Phronesis to inform their retail media strategy at Walmart Chile? If you have a case study, it would be really great to kind of share that.
Yes, I mean, as you were saying, the insight to action and to make better business decision is very important. I mean, this is not going to work if we are not using this data to improve our businesses. That's the real state. And we have a lot of cases study, because now we are working with 31 suppliers. And we are launching just now because almost for 1 year and a half, we were building our trust, our way of working with merchants, saving their time in analysis, for example. And now we have, for example, one supplier that decided to provide the assortment for launching this year because of the data. So they say, okay, let's start launching 10 products. And after they saw the data and they understood that there was not room for 10 new products, they say, okay, let's launch only one for this quarter. And we did it through Walmart Connect because we set up the right stores to put this product on shelf. And after that, Walmart Connect decide what vehicle to use. I don't know, maybe TV, or even in the same shelf. But after 3 weeks of implementation, they took out the product because it wasn't working that well. So we understood the insight, we see the opportunity, but maybe we don't execute very well. And after that, we decide to try it again. And now we're working to make it work better than before. And the same stores, different vehicle, through Walmart Connect, and now it's working. Another cases that we have, I mean, Coca-Cola is one of the biggest suppliers in the world, and they did a huge, huge campaign with Walmart Connect last year because they were decreasing in ticket penetration and with the can. So they say, okay, let's work to this. What data can you provide for us? And we say, okay, we provide for you the correct stores, so that way you will put your product in the right stores. And they did a journey for the shopper where you go to the store and you see the Avengers. So in that path, you in the beginning of the store, you were seeing Iron Man, for example, or Captain America. I think, Lucas, you correct me. After that, you move to the shelf and you will see all these images working also with this product. And at the end of the store, you can see also a new banner for this product. And after the implementation, they increased 14% in tickets. So this campaign was huge, not because they were in every store they wanted or in the store that Coca-Cola were selling the most. It's because we defined the right store for the customer. And after that, implementation works very well.
No debate about that. Right implementations always work well. So let me wrap it up by asking you guys a question about what the rest of 2025 and what the future holds. So, where are you focused on innovating Walmart Connect and Walmart Phronesis offerings over the next few years? Maybe Lucas, you can take that one.
Well, what the main things that we are working on today in Walmart Connect Chile in technology is that we are migrating to our international platform. So that will help us to have a huge jump in our product offered and also in self-service capabilities and also in a long list of stuffs that will help us to go at the double of velocity that we are going now in terms of products. And we are very excited about it. We know that it's the right path to go with, and it's how we're gonna build the future outlook of retail media in the country. And in terms of Walmart Phronesis, today, in the last years, we have been laser focus with customer and categories and how we connect brands with those type of KPIs and analysis and opportunities. But things never end there. Like when you think about the aisle and the main point of importance, that is that where you are in the front of the aisle and you are going to take the product, like everything ends up there. You need more things to get better decisions or make better decisions of what is better for the client. So our way of how we imagine the near future is how we connect operations and supply KPIs to the customer KPIs and categories KPIs, and how we give the brands an end-to-end vision of what's the best way to serve the client. So that's the path that we are following there. So connecting now what that we have a robust product on category and client, and we can answer some question that like where, why, and how they buy. Now we want to connect that with the whole operation point of view, and what we mean about that is on shelf availability, supply KPIs, and go on.
Listening to you both, I have a good intuition that tells me you are going to achieve all of these just because of your passion. And congratulations on the success, Pamela, and 31 vendors coming on board and actually partnering with you every day as well.
Thank you very much. We are happy of the 31, but we are very, very, very proud of having on part of those 31 suppliers. 5 or 6 are small companies that we are helping them to have better access and better understanding on the data and helping them growing. And that's
Well, Pamela and Lucas, Shri and I really want to thank you for taking time out of your day to speak with us about what all the exciting things you have going down in Chile with Walmart. Lucas, Shri and I particularly want to welcome you to the Girl Dad Club. It's an incredible fraternity, and I know you're about 4.5 months into your journey with your new daughter. So we wish it can be really, really exciting. And I don't know if you know this, but Shri and I determined that the equidistant point between where the two of us live, me in Connecticut and him in LA, strangely enough, is Northwest Arkansas. We can both take a direct flight that takes exactly the same amount of time from New York or from LA. So please, you next time you make your way up to Northwest Arkansas, let us know. We'd love to come up and connect with you there.
Thank you very much for having us here. It was a very fun conversation. We hope to see you guys back in Chile again, not for 3 days. I hope you have some time off so you can see our country a little bit better. And thank you very much for having us here.
Yes, many thanks for having us here in this conversation. It was fun.
Awesome.
All right, Shri, that was a really great episode. I enjoyed our conversation. Kind of rounded out our month as we get ready for a whole bunch of activations coming up. We've got obviously Cornell. I think you've got Nielsen's C360. I've got another Cornell event. I've got what is it? Oh, the Digital Food and Beverage Summit, the middle of June, and then you and I are off to Cannes, France, aren't we? We've got a big schedule ahead of us for the next couple of months, right?
No doubt about that, Peter, but would you have it any other way?
No, it was fun.
Connecting with the industry and staying with the network is one of the most important things here, so we can stay refreshed on all the different things happening in the industry, especially in the retail media space.
All right, Shri, to our audience, don't forget to follow us on your favorite social media platform, your favorite podcast platform. Follow us on LinkedIn as well, but make sure to give us a rating. Apple, Spotify, number 5. It's our favorite number. And Shri, thanks for joining me as always, and to our audience. We look forward to speaking with you on the next episode of the CPG Guys podcast. Goodbye.